Is he aware of reports that local wood manufacturers have been refused the opportunity to buy swamp kauri from Kauri Ruakaka Mill, which was formerly called Orovita, and is allegedly involved in exporting raw swamp kauri? And what is he doing to ensure that this irreplaceable resource is managed responsibly?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Primary Industries, firstly, the Minister was not aware of such reports, but notes that there are about a dozen operators which local manufacturers could get wood from, and the government does not interfere in commercial arrangements. Secondly, the Ministry for Primary Industry disputes claims that this mill is exporting illegally. Thirdly, advice from the Ministry for the Environment and the Northland Councils is that the resource is generally being responsibly managed. There have been some occasions where extraction has occurred from Indigenous wetlands. In those events, there has been prosecutions under the RMA.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
How can Northlanders have any confidence that any new investigation, such as referred to in question 9 on the 17th of June, won't be another whitewash like the 2012 swamp kauri investigation, which promised, quote, closer monitoring of swamp kauri sawmilling and export participants, close quote, yet has failed to stop raw logs and slabs being illegally sent out of this country, denying Northland desperately needed jobs?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I'd invite the member to talk to his colleagues, because in 2004 the previous government relaxed the law and made changes to the Forest Act. Indeed, Mr Parker, who interjects, was one of those that actually reduced the reporting requirements for swamp kauri that was being exported. The Ministry of Primary Industries remains of the view that the law is being followed. If the member genuinely believes it's not, why doesn't he test it in court?
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Has he discussed the issue of swamp kauri exports with Judith Collins, whose husband David Wong Tung and good friend Stone Shi are directors in the chain of shell companies that owns the Ruakaka Mill, the ultimate ownership of which is obscured by a lawyer's nominee company?
Insofar as there may be some ministerial...
Mr Speaker, I thought this member was above getting involved in that sort of murk.
Point of order, Mr Speaker.
Order. Point of order, Kelvin Davis.
Sorry, I did ask a question, Mr Speaker, it wasn't addressed.
Yes, and I said the Minister could answer it insofar as there was ministerial responsibility. There was very little connection there of ministerial responsibility. I allowed the Minister to answer it the way he did, and that is acceptable. Does the member have a further
supplementary question?
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Is he denying what is well known to locals in Northland, that swamp kauri are being illegally exported, and that his ministry is lax in its enforcement of the law because people high up in Orovita are major donors and players in the National Party, and there are the photographs of the logs all illegally being exported?
Well, again, I will invite the Minister to answer if he sees ministerial responsibility.
Mr Speaker, the law in respect of the export of Indigenous forests was passed in 1993 with that member's support. It was softened in 2004 by colleagues adjacent to him with his support. My advice is that the law is being followed.
Order. Point of order, the Right Honourable.
Speaker, he cannot get up and accuse me of supporting a law which I wasn't, when I wasn't a member of the government. He did it on both occasions, 93, 94, we all know that, and he's just telling lies.
I don't need further help on that. That is certainly not a point of order. I'll invite the Minister, if he wishes to add further to his answer, to complete it before we go.
Mr Speaker, I'd invite the member to check the Hansard as to how New Zealand first voted in 1993 on the Forest Amendment Act and how the party again voted in 2004 when the law was changed.
Further supplementary question. Order. There is now too much interjection in this House. Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, what does he make...
Order. We have now got to the stage when I've asked for less interjections. It's carried on. Mr Davis will now ask supplementary if I hear a interjection coming from anywhere in the House, that person will be immediately leaving the chamber. Kelvin Davis.
Thank you. To the Minister, what does he make of a comment made to Environmental Protection Society head Fiona Farrell by a transport company involved in the transport of illegal swamp Kauri, which goes, quote, "You will never stop this while National is in power."
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, I would invite the member to check the parliamentary record and the law changes that were made to the Forest Act in 2004 that removed the requirement for the Ministry of Primary Industries to have to check that processed product was in fact processed in New Zealand. I invite the member to have a look in the mirror.
Somebody question again.
Order. Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston.
Is the Minister saying that it's just mere coincidence that the Aurovita company gave 30,000 to the National Party before the last election?
Order. There is absolutely no responsibility for that. I will rule that question out, but before I cancel it altogether, I'll give the member an opportunity to re-ask a supplementary that is in line with Standing Order 380.
Somebody question.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Perry.
Why is the Minister saying that these logs are finished products when anybody with half a brain can see that they are not?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, the law that was passed defines stumps of Kauri, including up to 4 to 5 metres of the lower portion. If either that member or his colleagues adjacent think there has been a breach of the law, I simply challenge them to test it in the courts. The advice from the Ministry of Primary Industries is that the law is being complied with.
Supplementary question, Kelvin Davis.
Given to the Minister, given the players in the illegal export of unprocessed swamp Kauri are confident that it will, quote, never stop while National is in power, unquote, what options do the people of Northland have to ensure that their taonga is used to benefit the people, not National's mates?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith, and again,
Mr.
just
Speaker,
respond to the latter part of the question.
I would just simply remind the Parliament that it was in 2004 that the law in respect of exporting indigenous timber, such as swamp Kauri, was relaxed, that this government has made no changes in that law, and that the advice from the Ministry of Primary Industries is that that law is being followed. In respect of the Resource Management Act, there have been some breaches, and where it has been breached, the Northland Regional Council has prosecuted.
Order. Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I would ask you to reflect upon the rulings that you have given in this question, sir. You have ruled in scope the Minister's repeated references to law changes which predated both his government and 2 reviews undertaken by his government, while at the same time have ruled out of order questions that go to the current ownership and management practices of the company currently exporting this unprocessed
I don't
product.
need assistance from anybody. The question I ruled out of order was around an alleged donation to a political party. No minister is responsible for that. Question number 12, Julianne Genter. Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston
On the question of an alleged donation, I seek to table the document that sets out the 2 donations the National Party got in 2011.
Order. The member will resume his seat immediately. That information is publicly available to any member who wants it. Point of order, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Just in regard to question 2 put by my colleague Kelvin Davis to the Minister, the Honourable Nick Smith replied, and I say that
can
the
I just
Minister
have the point of order,
House,
please?
Mr. Speaker.
Order. Then again,
Mr. Speaker.
That's a serious allegation to be made.
It is. I'm
then the
here,
member,
Mr. Speaker.
the member's been here. The member will resume his seat. The member knows full well the process if he thinks that has occurred, and it's not via prior point of order. I think it is from memory. Standing Order 359. Order. Point of order, Dr. Russell-Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to...
Order. The member will stand and withdraw and apologise for that comment. The Honourable Damien O'Connor. Then the member will immediately leave the chamber. Point of order, Dr. Russell.